Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayana Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiriye Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistike. So continuing with the discussion on Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 59, the killing of the demon Narkasura, text 22 onwards. So yesterday we studied how Krishna took Satyabhama with him on Garuda. They came to the battlefield with Narkasura. They were going to kill Narkasura. And Narkasura attacked Krishna, and Krishna just Satyabhama gave him the permission to kill Narkasura, and Krishna shot his Sudarshan Chakra and killed Narkasura. So further it says, Sakundalam charu kirita bhushanam babho prithivyam patitam samujvalam aheti sadviti rishya sureshwara malyara mukundam vikiram idire. Fallen on the ground, Bhaumasura's head shone brilliantly, decorated as it was with earrings and an attractive helmet. As cries of alas, alas, and well done arose, the sages and principal demigods worshipped Lord Mukunda by showering him with flower garlands. Tatascha bhu krishnam upetya kundale pratapta jambundaratnam hasvare savajyante avanamalyarapayat prachetasam chhatramatho mahamanim. The goddess of the earth, who's mother of Bhaumasura, Narkasura, then approached Lord Krishna and presented him with Aditi's earrings, which are made of glowing gold inlaid with shining jewels. She also gave him a Vajanti flower garland, Varuna's umbrella, and the peak of Mandar mountain. So all these things Bhaumasura had stolen from demigods. Asto Shidatattha Vishvesham Devi Deva Vararchitam Pranjali Pranata Rajan Bhakti Pravanaya Dhiya. O king, after bowing down to him and then standing with joined palms, the goddess, her mind filled with devotion, began to praise the Lord of the universe, whom the best of demigods worship. Bhumiruvacha Namaste Deva Devesha Shankha Chakra Gadadhara Bhakti Chopata Rupaya Paramatma Namo Astute. Goddess Bhumi said, obeisances unto you, O Lord of the chief demigods, O holder of the conch shell, disc and club, O supreme soul within the heart. You assume your various forms to fulfill your devotees' desires. Obeisances unto you. Namaha Pankaja Nabhaya, Namaha Pankaja Maline, Namaha Pankaja Netraya, Namaste Pankajangre. My respectful obeisances are unto you, O Lord, whose abdomen is marked with depression like a lotus flower, who are always decorated with garlands of lotus flowers, whose glance is as cool as the lotus, and whose feet are engraved with lotuses. So Queen Kunti offered the same prayer which is found in the first canto. Namo Bhagavate Tubhyam Vasudevaya Vishnave Purushaya Adibijaya Purna Bodhaya Te Namaha. Obeisances unto you, the Supreme Lord Vasudeva Vishnu, the primeval person, the original seed. Obeisances unto you, the omniscient one. Ajaya Janyitrayasya Brahmane Ananta Shakte Paravaratman Bhutatman Paramatmanas Namostute. Obeisances unto you of unlimited energies, the unborn progenitor of this universe, the Absolute, O soul of the high and the low, O soul of the created elements, O all-pervading supreme soul, obeisances unto you. Tvam vaisi srikshurajjat utkatam prabho tamo nirodhaya vibharshi samritaha sthanaya sattvam jagato jagatpate kala pradhanam purusho bhavan paraha. Desiring to create a one-born master, you increase and then assume the mode of passion. You do likewise with the mode of ignorance when you wish to annihilate the universe, and with goodness when you wish to maintain it. Nonetheless, you remain uncovered by these modes. You are time, the Pradhan and Purusha, the Lord of the universe, yet still you are separate and distinct. So these are all the qualities, glories of Krishna. He is beyond the three modes. This is Mother Bhumi is saying. The word Jagata in the third line of this verse indicates that the functions of creation, maintenance, and annihilation are here mentioned in a cosmic context. The word Utkatam indicates that when a particular function is being carried out, whether universal creation, maintenance, or annihilation, the particular material quality associated with that function becomes prominent. Aham payo jyotiratha nilo nabho matrani deva manindriyani karta maha nitya khilam characharam tvayad vidvitiye bhagvanayam brahma. This is illusion that earth, water, fire, air, ether, sense objects, demigods, mind, senses, false ego, and the total material energy exist independent of you. So this is illusion. Reality is everything is dependent on Krishna. In fact, they're all within you, my Lord, who are one without a second. Nothing is independent, nothing is separate from Krishna. And the earth goddess in her prayer directly touches upon the subtleties of transcendental philosophy, clarifying that although the Supreme Lord is unique and distinct from his creation has no independent existence and always rests within him. Thus, the Lord and his creation are simultaneously one and different, as explained by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 500 years ago. But energy, everything is his energy, everything rests on him, nothing is separate from him, nothing is different from him. Nothing is independent of him, but everything is not him. That's the thing to remember. Purport says, dogs, shoes, and human beings are hardly omnipotent or omniscient, nor do they create the universe. So we are not Krishna. We are part and parcel of Krishna. All that exists is the Lord's potency, and yet he endows the superior potency, the living beings, with free will so that they can become responsible for the moral and spiritual quality of their decisions and activities. Tasyatmajo ayam tava pata pankajam bhita prapanarti haropasadita tatapalayanam guru hasta pankajam shirasyam ushya khil kalmashapaham. Here is the son of Bhaumasura. Frightened, he is approaching your lotus feet, since you remove the distress of all who seek refuge in you. Please protect him. Place your lotus hand, which dispels all sin, upon his head. So, Mother Bhumi first glorified Krishna, and she did not say anything about, oh, why did you kill Bhaumasura? He was our son. And she knew he was an asura and he did wrong things. He had to be killed. But now she wants blessings for the grandson, son of Bhaumasura. Here the earth goddess seeks protection for her grandson, who has been frightened by all the terribly violent events just took place. Shri Shukavacha, iti bhumyar thito vagdhir bhagwan bhakti namraya datva bhayam bhoma griham pravishat sakalardhit matimat. Shukdev Goswami said, Thus entreated by goddess Bhumi in words of humble devotion, the Supreme Lord bestowed fearlessness upon her grandson and then entered Bhaumasura's palace, which was filled with all manner of riches. Now, this is one typical quality of the demons. They like to live very lavishly. So their cities or palaces would be clean and filled with jewels and gems, and everything will be laid out very nicely, roads, gardens, lakes, everything would be very nicely kept. Tatra Rajanya Kanyanam Shatta Sahasradikayutam Bhoma Hritanam Vikramya Rajabhyo Dadrishe Hari. Those Lord Krishna saw 16,000 royal maidens whom Bhoma had taken by force from various kings. Srila Sridhar Swami provides evidence from the sage Parashar to the effect that there were actually 16,100 royal maidens imprisoned in Bhauma's palace. Another relevant verse from Vishnu Puran is as follows. So Janardhan and imprisoned the demon Bhaumasura kidnapped the unmarried daughters of demigods, Siddhas, Asuras, and kings, so Janardhan, and imprisoned them in his palace. Tam pravishtam striyo viksha narvaryam vimohita manasa babare abhishtam patim devo pasaditam. The women became enchanted when they saw that most excellent of males enter. In their minds, they each accepted him who had been brought there by destiny as their chosen husband. Bhuyat patirayam mayam dhata tad anumodatam iti sarva prithak krishne bhaven hridayam daduhu. With the thought, may Providence grant that this man become my husband. Each and every princess absorbed her heart in contemplation of Krishna. Taha prani prahinod dwarvatim sumrishti virajo ambara naraya ner mahakosham rathash vandravinam maha. The Lord had the princesses arrayed in clean, spotless garments and then sent them in palanquin to Dwaraka, together with great treasures of chariots, horses, and other valuables. So everybody wanted Krishna as a husband, and also there was a problem. In those days, if a young girl lives, or they were kidnapped by Bhaumasura, so then the tradition was nobody would accept them as their wives. So only destiny they would have was either marry Krishna or commit suicide. They could not go back home. So that was also one of the reasons Krishna married them all. Eva Eravat Kule Bhaksha Chaturdantas Tarasvanyaha Pandurashav Chatushashtim Preya Masa Keshavaha. Lord Krishna also dispatched 64 swift white elephants, descendants of Eravat, who each sported 4 tusks. So they all had 4 tusks, not 2 tusk elephants, 4 of them. Gatva Surendra Bhavanam Datvaditya Chakundale Pujit Stri Dashendrena Mahendrayanya Jas Sapriyaha Chaudito Bhare Yotpatya Parijatam Garutmati Aropya Saindran Vibudhan Nirjityo Panyati Puram. The Lord then went to the abode of Indra, the demigod's king, and gave Mother Aditi her earrings. There, Indra and his wife worshipped Krishna and his beloved consort Satyabhama. Then, at Satyabhama's behest, the Lord uprooted the heavenly Parijat tree and put it on the back of Garuda. After defeating Indra and all the other demigods, Krishna brought the Parijat to his capital. Now, this is something ironic. Krishna took back Mother Aditi's earrings and gave it to Aditi and gave them to Aditi. And Indra himself had come to Krishna that Bhaumasura has created trouble. And when Krishna, all he wanted was one Parijat tree. That's all. He did not take all of them, just wanted one to satisfy Satyabhama. But Indra then attacked Krishna. Stapita Satyabhamaya Grihodhyano Anva Gur Brahmara Swargat Tad Gandha Savalampataha. Once planted, the Parijat tree beautified the garden of Queen Satyabhama's palace. Bees followed the tree all the way from heaven, greedy for its fragrance and sweet sap. Yayacha anamya kirit kotbhi pados prishan nachuttamad arth sadhanam siddhartha etena vigriyate maha aho swaranam chatamo dhigaryatam. Even after Indra had bowed down to Lord Achyuta, touched his feet with his tips of his crown and begged the Lord to fulfill his desire, that exalted demigod, having achieved his purpose, chose to fight with the Supreme Lord. What ignorance there is among the gods! To hell with their opulence. This is Shukadeva Goswami is saying, to hell with their opulence. It is well known that material wealth and power tend to produce arrogance, and thus an opulent life can often be the royal road to hell. Atho muhurta ekasmin nana gare shuka striya yathopayeme bhagwan tavad rupa dharo avyaya. Then the imperishable Supreme Personality, assuming a separate form for each bride, duly married all the princesses simultaneously, each in her own palace. This is the beauty of Krishna. As Srila Sridhar Swami explains, here the word yatha indicates that each marriage was duly performed. This means that the entire company of the Lord relatives, including his mother Devaki, so he also expanded everybody who was attending the marriages. It happened by Krishna's potency, appeared in each and every palace and attended each and every wedding. Since all these weddings took place simultaneously, this event was surely a manifestation of the Lord's inconceivable potency. When Lord Krishna does things, he does them in a style. So it is not astonishing that Lord simultaneously appeared in 16,100 wedding ceremonies taking place in 16,100 royal palaces. So what's so difficult for Krishna to do all this? Accompanied in each palace by all his relatives. Indeed, this is the way one would expect the Supreme Personality of Godhead to do things. After all, he is not an ordinary human being. Srila Sridhar Swami further explains that on this particular occasion, the Lord manifested his original form in each of his palaces. In other words, to take part in the wedding vows, he manifested identical Prakasha form in all the palaces, not the expansions. They were originally present everywhere. Griheshu tasaman paya tarka krin nirasta samyati shayeshva avasthita reme ramabhir nijkam sampluto yathe taro garha hakam edikan sharan. The Lord Performer of the inconceivable constantly remained in each of his queen's palaces, which were unequaled and unexcelled by any other residence. Therefore, although fully satisfied within himself, he enjoyed with his pleasing wives, and like an ordinary husband, he carried out his household duties. So this is how he took care of all his queens. The word atarka krita is significant here. Tarka means logic, and atarka means which is beyond logic. The Lord can perform krit, that which is beyond mundane logic and hence inconceivable. Still, the Lord's activities can be appreciated and understood to a significant extent by those who surrender unto Him. This is the secret of bhakti, loving devotion to the Supreme Lord. And that's why common ignorant people say this is all mythology. It cannot happen. It's not possible. It's all mythology. It's not myth. It's not fiction. Srila Shukdev Goswami had better things to do than to speak fictional stories. It's all true. Srila Sridhar Swami comments that the Lord was always at home except for when he had to go out to do ordinary household duties. And Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur points out that since in the Vaikuntha planets Lord Narayan enjoys with only one goddess of fortune, and in Dwarka Krishna enjoys with thousands of queens, Dwarka must be considered superior to Vaikuntha. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur further points the Kartik Mahatmya section of the Padma Purana. Those who were the daughters of cowherds in their early youth became royal princesses in their maturity. So, looks like they came from Vrindavan or Braj. Those who were daughters of the cowherds in their early youth became royal princesses in their maturity. Acharya adds, therefore, just as the Lord of Dwarka is a plenary expansion of the supremely complete Lord of Shiv Vrindavan, so his principal queens are full expansions of his supremely complete pleasure potencies, the gopis. Itham Rama Patim Avapya, Patim Striyasta, Brahma Dayo Api Navidu Padavim Yadiyam, Bhejur Muda Virat Medhita Tayanuraga, Hasavalokan, Vasangam Ajalpa Jalpaha. Thus, those women obtained as a husband the husband of the goddess of fortune, although even great demigods like Brahma do not know how to approach him. With ever-increasing pleasure, they experience loving attraction for him, exchange smiling glances with him, and reciprocated with him in ever-fresh intimacy, replete with joking and feminine shyness. Pratyugamasan varahar padashoch tambul vishramani bija gandhamalya keshi prasara shayana srapanopaharya dasi shata api vibhor vidadhusma dasyam. Although the Supreme Lord's queens each had hundreds of maid servants, they chose to personally serve the Lord by approaching him humbly, offering him his feet, worshipping him with excellent paraphernalia, bathing and massaging his feet, giving him pan to chew, fanning him, anointing him with fragrant sandalwood paste, adorning him with flower garlands, dressing his hair, arranging his bed, bathing him, and presenting him with various gifts. So this is what, even though they're the queens, they had maid servants, but they personally served the Lord in such a loving way. And Krishna also took care of them very lovingly. So thus ends the purpose to 10th canto, 59th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled The Killing of the Demon Narakasura. So tomorrow we'll start the new chapter, chapter 60. So we'll stop here, see anybody has any questions or comments. Okay, so we'll stop here. You all have a safe and wonderful day. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Ram.